Okay, so we have a computer, and the speed that the processor inside the computer runs at is 2.4 gigahertz. Gigahertz. Now we know that giga, just to remind ourselves, giga is equivalent to 10 to the power 9. So it says, please write this processor speed frequency in scientific notation. Well, that's pretty easy, because instead of gigahertz we would write 2.4. Where we see the word giga, we replace it with times 10 to the 9. 2 times 10 to the 9 hertz. The giga sign has just been replaced with what giga stands for. Giga stands for 10 to the 9. So in scientific notation, the processor of the computer would run at a frequency of 2.4 times 10 to the 9. Then another question is, how many megahertz is this? Well, we know that it's that many megahertz. So gigahertz is 2.4 times 10 to the 9. What does megahertz stand for? Well, the symbol for mega is the same as times 10 to the 6. So if we were to split up this frequency, instead of writing it as 2.4 times 10 to the 9, we could think of it as being 2.4 times 10 to the 6 times 10 to the 3. 10 to the 6 multiplied by 10 to the 3 is 10 to the 9. It's exactly the same thing. But we want the answer in times 10 to the 6. We want it in megahertz now. We've got mega here, and we therefore have to take all of these 1,000 that are left and multiply them by 2.4. So 2.4 times 10 to the 3 would give us 2,400 times 10 to the 6. So we've just incorporated the 10 to the 3 in and multiplied it by our 2.4 to give us 2,400, and then the 10 to the 6 hasn't changed. But we know that 10 to the 6 means the sign mega, so this would be what it would be as hertz. 2,400 times 10 to the 6, which is equivalent to 2,400 megahertz, because the 10 to the 6 is the same as the prefix mega. Okay, let's look at a slightly different question here. Let's say that we've got an MP3 player that has a 3 gigabyte memory, and we know that if we were to play our MP3 player for 30 minutes, that would use 3 megabytes of memory. So how long could I play my MP3 player without having to look at the same number, listen to any song twice? Well, what we have to think of there is that our 3 gigabyte memory is the same as 3 gigabytes is the same as 3 times 10 to the power 9 bytes. Okay, that's how much memory we have. It's the same as 3,000 times 10 to the 6 bytes, which is actually the same as 3,000 megabytes. 3 megabytes. So the whole memory of our MP3 player has 3,000 megabytes. But we also know that in 30 minutes we use 3 megabytes. So let's call the number of 30-minute periods x. X equals number of 30-minute periods. If we were to play our MP3 player, it would take, so if x is the number of 30-minute periods, then we can play 3 megabytes for every 30-minute period. So let's say we have x of that. And if we want to use up all of the megabytes, then that would be equivalent to 3,000 megabytes. A different song every time. So the number of 30-minute periods x, divide the 3,000 megabytes by the 3 megabytes, Our megabyte units will cancel here. We get 3,000 divided by 3, giving us 1,000. 1,000 what? Well, that's 1,000 30-minute periods, which of course is equivalent to 500 hours. So we get 500 hours of music, different songs. If we had our MP3 player connected with totally different songs, we could get 500 hours of playing time on our music MP3 player.